Hello, 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 and welcome back to our second episode of Vox and Jed Fight About It. It's a very special episode today because we have our first guest, and it's Twig. How
Twig.
about you introduce
Hi,
yourself?
Twig.
Say hi.
Hi, Twig. I'm Twig. um, I don't know what else to say besides I'm Twig. Twiggish. Twig underscore ish.
yeah.
That's me.
What do you do? I guess.
I'm
What do you enjoy doing?
yeah. I mostly like stream and make art. I've been meaning to make YouTube videos.
Hmm.
I don't know, but I like to draw. I've been meaning to draw more. Um,
Well, it's great having you here.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good to have you on the show. Absolutely excited about that. For anybody in the audience curious, I am sick out of my mind, and I'm kind of pushing through it. But I sound a little off in this week's episode, so just bear with me here as I like occasionally mute to like blow my nose and other various garbage. But no, yeah, Twig, it's good to have you. Good to talk to you and good to have you on the show as especially as our first guest. Honestly,
yeah.
you were just the first guy I knew who would definitely say yes. And so I was like, all right, Twig's an absolute layup for just like, all right, who can we get on the show real quick? You know?
Yeah.
Mhm. But yeah, I guess I'll get us rolling. And what is there anyone who inspired your streams, who made you want to start streaming, or anything like that?
Honestly, I think the person who, well, okay, I'm not going to name drop her, but my friend from high school,
Hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
she started streaming before me. She doesn't stream anymore, but I think like the reason why I like made like a little character in the first place and decided to start streaming was because like of her. And she helped me a lot with figuring out like OBS stuff and what to do exactly to set up like stream label stuff and like stream alerts, stuff like that. Um, I think she might have deleted her Twitter, so I don't know what to call her, but I want to
Well,
credit
yeah,
her, but yeah,
yeah,
Twig's
um,
Twig's friend from high school.
yeah.
More
It's
Twig lore drops. But no, yeah,
yeah,
I had a friend
that's
in high school. Twig
yeah.
lore.
That's an interesting anecdote about getting into streaming. I don't know, man. What else do we have to talk about? Jed, you got another interview question we can
yeah.
lob?
I do. So other than that, like I guess we'll go with how long have you been making content?
Well, I think actually like only a bit over a year. I think my stream anniversary's like the first time I streamed was like March 11th or so, March 13th of last year,
Mm.
which is like kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Actually, no. I think I just lied to you guys. Never mind. I think it was the year before.
Liar.
2 years.
liar.
I did
We're
just
gonna
lie.
ban you off the podcast now. Can't have
Yeah,
liars on the
good having you,
podcast.
Twig. See you around. It was
See ya.
a good 4 minutes and 11 seconds. Nice interview. Glad to have you. Don't come back.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
But
yeah, no,
like,
is there anything that like is there anything with like streaming and whatnot that like keeps you going with it? Is there something you enjoy about it that like really like attracts you back to it, or have you just like lucked into having done this for a couple years?
I mean, I just like socializing, honestly, just like talking to people
mhm.
and like with joining like Willow, that was like probably the most like important part. No, not Willow, Moist. I mean joining Willow, but mostly Moist. Uh, Halfway through season 3, I think that like really that was like a big event in my streaming career, I guess, that
Really?
made me like more just like driven to keep going with it. Because I mean, that wasn't the first SMP I was on, but I'd kind of consider it to be because like the other ones didn't really matter at all. Like, and yeah, that just gave me like because I did not expect to be accepted. I think I had like less than I definitely had like less than 50 followers then on Twitch,
Mhm.
and I am not sure if I had any content on my page because of college, because I couldn't stream. I can't stream like when I'm at college.
Oh yeah.
Wait, you
So
don't save your VODs? You don't like highlight them?
you get people highlight their whole VOD.
Apparently not. See, this is
I
something I
guess
picked
not.
up.
Vox and
No,
I do
this
it.
is something I picked up years and years ago from a friend of the show and friend of mine personally, a salty rat. He was like, "Oh yeah, you should go in and you could use the Twitch highlighter tool to highlight an entire VOD and then it's saved for good and archived. That isn't that neat? You should do that. That's something that like proper streamers do." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that." You know, I like to have it. I like to archive things. I like to keep things archived. And I'm slowly learning that was just a him thing. That was just him, and I
Oh,
kind of just adopted it. And not only that, I keep all my VODs up on YouTube as well. And like,
yeah, I
I
was
have
gonna say
yet to run into
VOD
somebody.
channel.
Yeah, I've yet to run into somebody on my level when it comes to like having an archive of like every stream they've done, and not only that, but also just like backups. It's
Yeah.
it's way more
Yeah,
abnormal than I thought it was.
I'm still fairly new to the
yeah.
whole streaming thing, but I got a lot of my information from Vox, so I'm yeah. I
Yeah,
started
Jed's picking
archiving
up
my
a bunch of
VODs
my
instantly.
bad habits.
Yeah. That's some of your good habits. Mostly the bad ones though. But
Yeah.
but yeah, back
Yeah.
on the like what made you get into it. That is very similar to what I went through of just seeing my friend do it and just vaguely interested in it and I think that's a lot of people's stories with streaming and it is interesting how you said like they don't stream anymore but you still do. It's interesting how it clicks with some people even though that other people started doing it and that's what inspired the people who are still doing it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a personal question.
We're asking Twig a
Is
personal
there
question.
Oh,
is there a
oh.
story behind your OC in any way? It's I've never seen an OC like yours, I guess.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
It is, yeah.
I'm- Okay. Well, I think I went through like three, four designs when like making my own little character. The third and fourth are only like I started out with my third design, which also Twig. That was the little character I was using when I first started out. And
Right, right.
then when I came back to streaming after the semester ended, or after I came home, I made this little guy because I was at first I was making him for just like a different Sona, like not streaming, and I was like, no, I like this guy too much. He's gonna be streaming too.
Mhm.
But um, yeah, I think a big thing, a big thing about both of my little Twigs designs is that they're really like plant inspired because I am just like a very big like nature person. I love plants.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
I
You
guess
got a favorite plant?
I just kept the name Twig. I just kept the name Twig because I like it.
Right.
Do you have a favorite plant?
Oh, I feel like I'm forgetting. I forget a lot of things. My memory is like it's so bad. I thought we were recording tomorrow, to be honest.
Uh,
I told Jed, but
Well, that was my fault because I
well,
messaged you on Wednesday and I was like, "Hey, are you free at this time on Sunday?" And then I realized my mistake immediately and corrected it to Saturday. I
you
edited the
did?
message to
Oh
say
my
Saturday
God.
like 5 minutes after I sent it to you, and I just hoped you hadn't read it yet.
Gaslighting.
I
I was
definitely
not
saw it
intentionally trying to gaslight
within
you.
those 5 minutes. Okay, wait, so I'm not so I didn't just like completely
No, you're not
misconstrue the
completely
message.
crazy.
No, no. But yeah, it's just
Yeah,
Vox's fuck
favorite.
up. Vox is known to fuck up. Vox known
Yeah,
fuck up. I don't. There's a bit there, but I
absolutely.
lost it.
Honestly,
Yeah, you had
relatable.
something. But jumping around a little bit here, Twig, I noticed you mentioned it earlier about Moist. I had no idea you were a mid season 3 edition. I was so bad at socializing with people on Moist. I can't tell if I was bad at socializing with people on Moist or if like Moist is just that clicky, where it's like I can't worm my way in here. You know, I had a hard time with it, and so like I didn't know it. Like you could ask me mid season 3. I was in there from the beginning of season 3, and like you could ask me mid season 3, like, do you know everybody on the server? Can you name all of your fellow like Moist SMP server mates? And it's like, no, I couldn't name you 10, frankly. I have the people I regularly see on the server, and then like everyone else is a blur, a distant memory. So I could have sworn you were there from the beginning. Did you have any trouble with
Yeah,
that kind of a thing, like joining an SMP like midway through a season where there's already like sort of an established thing going on?
well, to be honest, I didn't even know that I was joining mid-season. I thought I was joining at the beginning. I didn't know the applications for mid-season. Like I genuinely just that didn't click in my head. I didn't like I don't know. So I guess just my own little like not knowing of the server already having like stuff established on it didn't affect me because it didn't affect me because I just didn't even know that was the case.
Blissfully
Right.
ignorant.
Yeah,
Absolutely
exactly.
no idea.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm the same way. I couldn't tell you who joined like halfway through and who joined
Like
at the beginning.
I don't wish to imply that anybody on Moist is like forgettable. It's just like it was such
Yeah,
a
yeah,
packed
yeah.
in server that it's like, you know, not that everybody
Yeah.
was always online at any given time, but like anybody like it, you would be hard pressed to have like formed a meaningful like interaction with everybody on that server. It's such a big
Yeah, I
one.
definitely did not, unfortunately.
I had a lot of trouble with that as well. But no, yeah, that's I don't know. Moist is great. And if anybody from Moist
Moist is
wants
great.
to stop through and be on the show at some point, I would totally be down for that. But
yeah.
Hi, fellow Moisters. Hi.
I'm sure somebody
Season
somewhere
4.
is looking out.
Yeah, yeah. Just DM Vox. We'll find you a place.
Well, we'll find you a week at some point in the future. But no, Twig,
And also DM me because
DM Twig.
I like to tell. Not for any reason, just say hi or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what you
I
do.
just want to talk to people.
Here's what you do to have an effective conversation with Twig. You get into Twig's DMs, and you hit TWIG exclamation point and then enter.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is a secret little phrase that will get Twig to say Twig back at you. And then you say
Exactly.
Twig back, and then they'll say Twig back with different like question marks or exclamation points and whatnot. And it'll be a great time. That'll be a meaningful conversation.
I've
Yeah.
been doing that since before I even knew Twig. Before Twig even knew who I was. I've been getting in on the Twig screaming.
Twig.
Yeah.
I've been screaming at Twig for so long. No.
It's yeah. How does that feel to have just like random strangers just scream your name at you and you scream your name back?
I think it's fun. I like it. Like it's just a silly little thing.
it's a silly, yeah.
It's a silly.
Yeah,
I always appreciate a silly.
yeah. Have you dealt with I guess over the course of your streaming, have you ever dealt with like burnout or something like that that made you kind of stumble, and if you did, was there anything that helped you get back to it?
I'd say the only time I felt really like burnt out with streaming was like last summer. I forget exactly when I stopped streaming, like when my break started, but I did end up wanting to like continue streaming again near like mid-August because I knew that I was going back to college soon and I wouldn't be able to.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that gave me a big motivator, just the fact that like I'd go a few months without being able to, so I might as well get some in now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, honestly, I think I don't even I think the burnout really wasn't like I don't know.
Wasn't quite burnout, it
Yeah,
was more so just fading out, I guess. Is that what you're getting
yeah,
at?
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think because like I said, like a big thing is like the social factor. I feel like last summer there wasn't that much of that,
Hmm.
you know? So
Hmm. I've dealt
yeah.
with my fair share of that, just like slow, steady fall off of streaming, and then you gotta kind of get back onto the horse. Um, uh,
For sure, for sure. You ever
it's
you ever find yourself I had a question, Jed. I swear I had a question a moment ago, and then you stole it. You completely just entered my
did
brain and
I?
yoinked it away from me. I don't know
I
what it
tend to
was
do that.
anymore. You just started speaking, and I was just like, oh well, I'm out of it. Now. Oh. Is there and this is a toughie. This is a real horn of a question just now. Especially to answer publicly. And if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. But if
Yeah,
you
of
could
course.
do,
Mhm.
is there anybody like within reason, of course, that you would have the capability to just like, oh, I want to do a stream with them, you know? But like I don't, is there anybody you would you haven't for one reason or another who you would want to do, more content with in the future, in particular?
Honestly, I don't even know about anyone in particular. Just like anyone.
Just
You
need to
just
Like
do
like
more
that's
making
my
with more
answer
content
to
people
with
in
anyone.
people.
I
general.
just like no, literally. That's pretty much it. Whether it be like people I want to get to know better or people that am already like friends with, it just like it'd be a fun time either way.
Yeah, just enjoying making content. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
I guess in that vein, do you have an ultimate goal for streaming, or is it just for fun?
Yeah, you some
Do
kind
you
of
want to make a
evil
career out of
mastermind.
it? Well, no, but I mean, do you want to make like a career out of it, or do you want to just continue doing it because you enjoy it? I guess.
For now, I'm definitely doing it for like the fun of it. I really do not see myself making a career out of it. And
Hmm.
honestly, I've never really been like the type of person to want to be like famous and like popular because that scares me.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I do see myself like continuing streaming through the years, but just as like a side fun thing that I could also get like some money from once I get affiliate.
Hmm.
But like that's pretty much it. Just like fun and also kind of money, but also mostly fun.
Right, right.
All right, you're not like Vox, who's in it solely for the money.
Oh, I'm in it for the money, dude.
Yeah.
That's $50 every like 6 to 8 months is really keeping my cash flow going. I gotta tell
Yeah,
you. Such a huge help.
Vox is buying like a mansion and shit. Man, it's crazy, dude.
It's absolutely insane the things that you can get for $50 in a third world country.
Oh man. But other than like your ultimate goals for streaming, is there anything that you wish you could get more out of streaming, I guess? So like do you wish you could make more content? Do you wish you could make better content? Anything like that, or are you happy with where you're at?
Uh, I mean, I would like to make more content, like specifically like YouTube videos. I just don't really have many ideas, to be
Mhm.
honest, and I don't know how to make YouTube videos. So it's more just like for that, I just gotta learn. I just gotta like sit down one day and be like, hey, let me think about this. Let me act on this, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think like when it comes to like content, I think like whatever I feel like I want to do, I feel like I could just go do it. Like I don't know. I'm not like unsatisfied with where I'm at because I
Mhm.
know like even though like things could probably be better and I could be making like more content and like posting TikToks. Like uh
TikTok is a
yeah, I
very
just
hard
like
platform to make
mm,
content for. As
I
like someone who
okay,
doesn't
to
have
be
their
fair,
face out there.
yeah, to be fair, I'd only posted little VOD clips on TikTok and then I just stopped
Yeah.
because I forgot about it.
Mhm.
Well,
Um
Twitch has like a easy exporter for that kind of thing. That's actually really handy for posting to YouTube Shorts and TikTok for that sort of thing.
yeah, I found a thing. I forget what it's called, but I know I have it like saved, like the name of it saved on my phone somewhere. That was like really useful for turning like the layout of the stream to like TikTok or YouTube Shorts format.
Right.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I think like when it comes to like improving content, I think the only thing which I don't really know how to like, well, not that I don't know how to control it, it's that I can't control it, is just like when like say I go a stream without like anyone in chat, I'm just like sometimes that makes me go like, oh, ugh,
Oh yeah,
like
Yeah.
those are the dog days where it's just like, all right, well, nobody's here. Time to play to an audience
yeah,
of 0, you know? And that's
Yeah.
yeah,
fine.
Speak
I'm
into the
I'm
void.
capable of doing that. But it's just like I don't know. It's those days are so far and few between now, but when they happen, they really hit of just like why am I doing this? You know?
Mhm.
yeah. It's like because it's so much easier to like make commentary when you're just like talking to people. So if I'm just like
Yeah.
doing a stream by myself, it just like yeah, I do struggle to, like think of things to talk about. But yeah, it's not like I can really control that besides just I guess keep going at it and
Mhm.
growing my channel. So, which is the
Yeah.
plan anyway.
Right, right. Just keep moving forward, one stream at a
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. Is there is there anything you like to do outside of content creation though? We've been talking a lot about streaming, but like you personally, um what do you enjoy doing?
I'm a big like honestly, I like a lot of I guess this is kind of like shown through streaming a bit, but like I think I'm a very like creative person. I like to draw a lot. I like to write.
Mhm.
And I say write as if it's not just like coming up with story ideas in my head and never writing them down. But yeah, I like honestly, yeah, I do like making like fun little like stories, which is not to go back to like streaming too much, but I do want to like connect that with like making lore for SMPs somehow.
Oh, right. We
Mhm.
got to talk about
I
Willow
just
lore.
We
Yeah.
really do. We really do. It's kind of crazy because I somehow made up more lore for my moist character than Willow.
How do you do lore? I've never partaken in lore stuff pre Willow,
No,
and
me
so like
neither.
I'm just so like I'm so like fumbling around in the dark, and it feels like, speaking of dark, people like Dark Phoenix and Crim and various other folks, they all seem like they know exactly what they're doing and exactly how they're going to do it. And
You're
Gyro
very right.
and other folks as well. I don't want to name drop everybody, but it seems like they all are on like the same page instantly, and so very improv-y and so very like yes Andy about it. And it's great and
Yeah.
it's wonderful. I just wish they would tell anybody else what's going on. I would love to be involved in the
No,
lore. I'm just so afraid I'm gonna clash.
no, me too. I have no idea what's going on anymore. I'm honestly kind of like very grateful that we're having like a bit of a break recently
Right.
because like I kind of do need time to like slow down and like figure out stuff for like not only figure out like what the hell is going on, but also just like stuff for my own character.
Right.
So, yeah, and honestly, like I feel like I'm a very like I plan stuff out like far in advance, and if something like gets in the middle of it where and I'm not sure how to like go back onto the path that I was intending to, I feel like that kind of makes me like freeze up a bit,
Mhm.
which definitely need to work on that. But I'm sure like once I do, once I actually start doing lore, like doing, if I like enjoy it, then doing lore in the future would, I mean, like it's just practice. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, of course I'm not in Willow, so I haven't done any like Minecraft lore stuff, but I do a lot of tabletop, and you face a lot of that in tabletop, and it is kind of a nice to like work that muscle of like, oh, all right, there's a dragon that just showed up. I was planning on doing a thing. How am I supposed to get back to the thing now that like, the dragon is here? And so
Hmm.
it takes some practice, but once you get into it, it's not that hard. Um, and that yes and stuff becomes easier as you continue to do it. Um,
Yeah.
and you grow to really enjoy it. But D&D is definitely not for everyone. And I'm glad there are
Honestly,
other outlets.
as soon as you said tabletop, I was like, D&D? I haven't I have never played D&D. I
Mhm.
want to so bad. Like I've been wanting to for years. Me and my friends at college have been trying to start a campaign, but then it just kept getting like pushed back and back. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I'd love to do D&D.
yeah, that's the other issue with D&D, and that's why I enjoy Minecraft lore from afar, is because you can have 40 people or so on a server, and it's not reliant on 5 people always being there at the same time every week and being able to
Right.
do that,
Yeah.
which just things just happen.
I
And
think I think Minecraft lore like plays a lot better to my ear than D&D, because when Jed was like leveling that comment, like D&D is not for me specifically. I can't like tabletop games, board games fill me with this immense dread that like I'm gonna forget a rule somewhere and like completely screw myself over, or like something. So I'm gonna do something wrong at some point, and not that I'll look like an idiot, but that I'll be incorrect about it for a little bit too long and go, oh well, that would have been helpful to know like a few hours ago. But
Mm,
when it comes to video games, I'm a lot easier with that sort of thing, because like the rules are in place. You don't have to think about how high can I jump, how far away is the enemy. It's just like, dude, I am in it. I can do a jump right now.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
like my actions are laid before me, and I'm able to play a lot less like, or a lot more like fast and loose with what exactly we're doing, in a way that works a lot better for me than like something rigid like tabletop. Well, that's like less rigid in how the rules are enforced, and like a lot more flexible, I'd say. But like, I feel like I kind of need that rigidity a little bit of just like
Mm-hmm.
I need it to be like sort of like locked in and like express like something I know well before I'm willing to get really creative with it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
an easy problem to fall into with tabletop is you show up to a situation and it's like, all right, what do you want to do? And it's like, it's anything. You mean like you're asking me what I want to do, just in general? Like I can do anything. What? How am I supposed to pick here? And so it's like
Right.
it
And I'm
takes
very
Yeah.
good at
practice and.
visualizing. I'm very good at
Mm,
visualizing, so it's not a problem of like, all right, you've entered the town. What do you want to do? It's just like, are we picturing the same town in our heads just now? Am I
Yeah.
looking at the same? What's the layout here? Where could I reasonably get to by now? I don't want to go like, I
Yeah.
need to stop by the bank, and there's like a bank. That's across town, buddy. And it's just like, oh well, I guess we're not imagining the same thing. Okay, and it's just like it's hard to like know exactly what you're doing and how to do it appropriately. Whereas like,
Yeah.
in a setting like a Minecrafty setting, it's a lot more easier to sort of like envision it properly because it's being rendered on your screen in front of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of problems that ensue when it's like, okay, I would like to go to the bank. Oh, the bank's across town. Are you sure you want to do that? Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't want to throw everything else off because you can't like it's a pain to split the party in that way because then half the group doesn't get to play the game. But in Minecraft, everybody can do their own things, and I appreciate that for what it is.
Hmm.
Yeah, it allows the perspective and the story being told to splinter in a million different directions, but still culminate and make for like an effective thing. And I really enjoy that aspect. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I guess outside of lore, then is there any goals or aspirations you have on Willow or Moist, or even the upcoming? I say upcoming, but like it'll be out by the time this
It'll
episode is
have
out.
launched by the time this
Yeah.
episode is out. Console Craft, because this episode will
Yeah.
drop tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Concept.
Do you have any aspirations for Willow, Moist, or Console Craft?
Um, Maybe for Moist, I think it would be nice if I built myself a house.
Hmm.
I haven't built a house yet. I've been meaning to do that. Um,
Jeez, you built like 4 of them
but
on
just
Willow. You think you could manage?
look.
You just gotta build one. Come on, Twig.
Okay, aside from silly house, honestly, I don't really know. I can't really think of much. I guess just like as long as I enjoy my time on there, that's kind of just what matters in the end. I'm
Right.
just here for a good time.
Speaking of enjoying ourselves and recent events that we're all involved in, Console Craft, I'm looking forward to an immense amount. I was
Oh yeah.
never that much of a console edition girly. I didn't get too into it. I played it passingly, and I played it quite often in its like latter years, but I never really touched the tutorial worlds beyond the basics. And so like I'm very excited to learn some new things about an old game, and I'm very excited for like because it seems like the whole thing is insanely low stakes, which I enjoy. Of just
Yeah,
like
Hmm.
oh, this is totally just an opportunity to like week to week just sort of goof around.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Can't wait for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
It's
honestly,
gonna be an amazing time.
yeah, I've personally never done like anything relating to console version. like I pretty much am going in blind.
Hmm.
To the point where I had no idea what to put on my application. I'm surprised I even got accepted. I submitted this like the day before it was due. One of my answers was like, I'm pretty sure it was like, why? What would you add with like being on the server or something? Like, why would that be good if you joined? It's just like I wrote down like, I'm silly. Colon P. One of the
I'm
answers.
silly.
See,
I'm
I
silly
don't blame
guy.
you at all, because like half of my answers were just like, all right, what's your username? Voxel64. What would you add to the server? Bush let me in. Bush let me in. Bush let me in. Bush let me in. Like that was my answers, like down the list pretty much. And I wrote like a couple of jokes in there. That was it. My running theory is that like hardly anybody applied.
I had to like fight for my life on the application. I was like, okay, what could I add? What could I do? Because I'm like, this is like my opening to a lot of these people. And so it's like, all right, I gotta make an impression here. And I figured out that like Twig and the rest of them didn't even look at my application. They were just like, oh, Vox's friend? Yeah, sure. And so I was like,
not
damn.
but
Not Twig, sorry,
and
Bush.
Enzo, well, because dude, you can't tell me anything. Don't let me know any of your secrets. And
Are we talking about this now?
Yeah, we're talking about this now. Because, I mean, this will come out tomorrow, but...
Yeah.
And Enzo, I'm sorry if you're listening 36 minutes into the show. I'm especially sorry. But I need you to know. Okay, so, I can't be told anything. So, simply, let's talk about my console craft related leaks. So the first thing was... Bush in a VC just after stream brings up like, hey, I'm thinking about, I found this like legacy console pack. If I did an SMP around it, would you be interested? Would you wanna do that? That's how Bush sounds in my head. They're just like, would you be interested if we did that? And I was like, yeah, I'd participate. I'd get down with it, sure. And then the next day on stream, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. This is going to be my Tuesday game for now, because I was playing some side game, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to play this on Tuesdays, and then maybe I'll replace it with that, like, console edition thing that Bush is planning, if that ever comes to fruition. And then Bush didn't tweet about it for, like, a week, until he tweeted, like, the blurred logo for Console Craft. They tweeted the blurred logo for Console Craft, and tweeted, announcement coming soon. And I was like, oh, was I not supposed to say that? Oh,
I love
no!
how you said like that whole phrase that's like, oh, Bush's like planned console edition thing that might not even happen. Instead of just like, oh, Bush's console SMP.
Yeah, like that's exactly what I said on stream. I was like, yeah, Bush is planning a console edition SMP that might never happen, but if it does, here's to it. I'm gonna participate in that, hopefully, and then. Gosh, Jed applies, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I want to do content. I want to do more content stuff. I want to participate more." And I was just like, "Apply for this. Bush is doing a thing. We could do it together, and it'd be great. It'd be a lot of fun." And so he does. And then every day, Jed's like, "Oh God,
Not
oh, God,
every
did they already
day.
send?" Just about every day for like, and I need to preface that me and Jed talk in VC for like hours a day every day. So
Yeah.
like, it's not for that long. It's just like a fleeting like, oh no, did applications are closing soon? Should I have heard back by now? And it's like, no, don't worry about it. I know how Bush operates. This will be a minute. And then like, after the applications closed, Jed's like, oh no, they're closed. The applications are closed. Did I miss out? And it's like, no. I haven't been invited yet. You're clear. Because, like, I was convinced, because Bush said I was in, like, 3 separate times, I need to say. Bush was like, yeah, you're in. But then I come to Bush that night, and I talk to him, and I go, hey, when are we getting the Discord open for that? Sort of as, like, a sneaky little, hey, when will invites be sent out for that? And Bush was like, I don't know, probably sometime Saturday or like Friday, maybe even Thursday. And I was like, okay, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, got it. And I was gonna report that back to Jed, but then I saw Enzo was in the VC, and Bush had said something funny to me, because I went, hey Bush, and Bush went, oh boy. And I was just like, oh boy, what's that about? And so I'm going to like share that anecdote with Enzo real quick. And then Enzo goes like, you know, we're gonna look at those applications probably like tonight or tomorrow. And I was like, oh, sick, cool. You know, Jed's been like bugging me about like whether or not he can get it. Just sort of offhandedly, just as sort of a joke. He's like, you know, he's been sort of bugging me about like when, you know, they'll know if they're in or not. And Enzo goes, I don't know. I mean, they're your friends, so we'll probably let them in if you'll vouch. And I was like, I'll vouch. And they were like, I'll know something more when we actually look at the applications. And then I report back to Jed, and I'm like, okay, it's looking like a maybe. They gotta look at the applications. It's a hard maybe in your favor, though. And then Enzo DMs me and says, Jed got in. Shh, don't spoil. But, like, they sent Jed got in, and I was like, and I immediately looked over at the message while I was in VC with Jed and went, yep, you're in. And then Jed was like, really? Awesome. And then I got the shh, don't spoil, like a minute after that, and I was like, uh-oh.
Okay.
Fucking
instantly.
Surprised.
After, if it was like messages back to back, I'd like
They are back to back. I just didn't see the other two.
Like, just don't tell anyone. Like a minute after is so funny.
Yeah. I couldn't. I couldn't contain it. Because I figured it was okay. I mean, I figured they probably wouldn't want me to tell them, but I hadn't explicitly been told not to tell them, so I told them.
That's so fair. That's so fair.
And so, like, I like to think I'm pretty alright at keeping secrets when things are serious, but when it's little stuff like that, I spill immediately.
Honestly, yeah, like actually important secrets, yeah, I will not tell a soul, but like just silly things, I'll just like forget who should know and who doesn't. I'll forget myself. The only reason I'd like if I just forget secrets. So if I don't spread a secret around accidentally, it's because I forgot it. So
You can't tell what you don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Consulcraft is looking very, very exciting. And like I know you guys don't have very much experience with the tutorial worlds, but me, I have a lot of experience with a very small amount of the tutorial worlds because I was very broke as a kid, and I would replay the demo, and the demo is like a 20 by 20 block area that has like 4 trees and like a half-built house, and I would play the shit out of that because you would get like 30 minutes on that to just like screw around, and you couldn't even like place down blocks. But I played that probably a dozen times. I don't know what appealed to me so much about Minecraft enough for me to play like nothing for such a long time.
Minecraft is, and I thought it was just me, but like it seems like Minecraft is like the ultimate sandbox game in my opinion. It's like the best game.
It is
for that sort of experience of like creative expression. I feel like it's one of the greatest creative expression tools that like children can very easily wrap their minds around. And so like and I've been playing this game for like a decade, and if you do a little funny math, I was only like 10, so I was a kid once. And you know, I've enjoyed this game. I've enjoyed this game quite a lot over the years, and I find that like very rarely do you hand it to like a child with like any amount of imagination and they just don't like it. Like it's a hit almost every time, and I love that about this game, that it's such like a universally loved thing, which I find very amusing.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was very much into Minecraft, and then like that like Minecraft like dull period came in, like I forget the years, I don't know, but then like quarantine picked it up again.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, obsessed.
Right. Yeah,
it came back. The hyperfixation.
It was interesting. Mm-hmm.
I genuinely don't think I'll ever be over it. It's like been my desert island game for a while now, of just like if they stopped updating it, and not a single further update comes out for this game from today forward, I will still be playing it in the fucking retirement home, dog. I will never be done with this game.
No,
Mhm.
me too.
I remember the period where it was genuinely like, oh, you're playing Minecraft? That's stupid. That's for kids. When, like, you know, in middle school or whatever, when it's when that's the thing of like, oh, you can't play any games that aren't, you know, what we think are cool. And then it was weird because then it went from that to like, oh yeah, we're playing Minecraft. It was like, what do you mean we're playing Minecraft? You guys got on me for playing Minecraft the other day. Oh, that's cool now. It's
Dude,
like, all right.
I can't stand the cycle that this game goes through. I think we're headed toward a downturn where people don't like Minecraft again. But it's sort of it's sort of a weird thing. As somebody who played Minecraft in like 2011 and loved it, and 2012 and loved it, and all through that height to about 2015-16 and loved it, and then it hit that insane low where it was like the most like dogged on, like awfully treated game by like the internet at large, and I still loved it and still played it darn near daily. And then it comes back around and everybody loves it, and I'm eating good because there's a lot of cool content coming out in like the 2019 Minecraft renaissance. And then like, but it, I can't help but think, I couldn't help but think even at the time of just like, you bitches flipped on me, you know? Like, you guys hated this. You can't just like it now suddenly, now that it's cool to like it again. I've been in the trenches, dog.
I was fighting for my life down here.
Yeah.
But Minecraft, I don't know any other game that truly like came out in, you know, I guess, when did full release come out? 2012, 2013?
2011 was version 1.0 full release.
Yeah, so 2011, wow. Like a game that's been out since 2011. I don't know of any other game that's still as relevant today as it was then. And like that everybody knows about, with the exception of like something like Tetris or something like that.
Even
Pokemon,
heavy
yeah.
years
Even then
from like 2011, like Skyrim is still fairly like reasonably talked about, but even that's like fallen off. Like I think that's a close second for games that got their technical full release in 2011 that we still like talk about and care about. Like I think Skyrim is a close second, and it's pretty far behind.
Yeah, it's Skyrim gets dogged on way more because, like, I don't know, Minecraft evolved and Skyrim is fucking Skyrim, you know?
That's the trouble, is that it's still a game from 2011. Yeah. Whereas Minecraft is, like, you know, actually making an effort to be a game both from 2011 and 2010 and 2024 at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, you were gonna say something, Twig?
I forget, but
it's your episode. We're all living in it.
Else. Something I feel like, those people that are just like, oh, Minecraft sucks. Minecraft, the developers don't do good updates. Like, they're so annoying because like the updates are. I feel like no one is grateful for the fact that we still get like regular updates that add like multiple new additions and not just like bug fixes for a game that came out almost, well, I literally just was about to say almost 15 years ago. No, the 15th anniversary just happened.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, I paid $26 for this game like a decade and a half ago. I can't believe we're at 15 years now. That puts me at 14. That puts me at 14 years of this game. I paid, or rather, I guess my grandma paid, of all people. My grandma paid $27 almost flat for this game 14 years ago. And I have more than gotten my $27, and still would have even if they stopped updating it. But the fact that I'm still like receiving brand new free content for a game I paid
Yeah.
like almost $30 for 14 years ago is ludicrous. I can't think of another company that would ever do that, and they would be remiss not to, because it's the top selling game of all time. In fact, I'm thinking of giving them another like $20, because like for the 15th anniversary, like buying Minecraft is like half off, and they've never done a discount like that. And so I'm thinking of picking up an alt account, because I don't have a secondary account for like recording things with, and that's come to bite me sometimes. But I'm genuinely considering paying them more money for the same game again.
The funny
I
thing,
don't have an alt account.
the funny
I may
thing
do the
about
same
that
thing.
is I was a console player for so long, and there were so many editions of the console game that you had to
20,000
buy.
Microsoft points, baby, for the best
Yeah,
20,000
dude.
Microsoft points you could spend.
But no,
What are you gonna
like,
go buy Space Invaders for your fucking Xbox Live Arcade room? Come on.
well, but like, so for me, I played a lot of Bedrock, and Bedrock, the only way you can play with your friends without all being online at the same time is to purchase a realm. And so I had a realm going for probably like 2 years in total, where it's like, all right, $15 a month to keep this up. And I've also bought an Xbox One Legacy version, the Xbox One Bedrock version, the Xbox 360 version, and like I've probably sunk like way too fucking much money into Minecraft by this point.
Dude, I don't know anybody who likes Minecraft who's ever owned just like, yeah, I just bought the Java edition and I've never paid for it again. Because, like, realistically, I only really play the Java version regularly, so that's all I'm counting for, like, oh, I spent like $20 on this, you know, but, like, realistically, I owned the 360 version, I owned the Wii U version, I own it on iOS, and I own it on Android. There are just like, there are so many different editions of this game, and I own not even half of them, but it's still like 10, and it's ridiculous how many there are. But like, come on, it's so worth it.
It is, yeah. Like
I had it on. Like I had it on iOS. I had it on. Well, I have for both of them. I have it on the Switch. Like, and even then, I do, like Voxel said, like I only played Java on my laptop, but like I like never really even think about the fact that there's just so many versions. I'm just like, oh, Java, Bedrock, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
but it's honestly like crazy how many versions, like you guys are saying.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous number. I actually just like quite like how available the game is. Like if you've got a machine that's even like that's been created in the last decade, you can probably run Minecraft in some official capacity.
Minecraft is such a silly game though, because I've met people who are like, yeah, I'm running this on my like computer that I got in like the 90s, and it runs great, dude. Like 32 chunks, like we're doing good. I'm doing good. And then it's like, Doug, I have a computer from like 2 years ago that's like still fairly above average, and this motherfucker runs at 12 FPS. What about Minecraft makes it run worse the better specs you get? I think it's so funny.
Well, I think the problem is CPU utilization, and I don't want to get too into this outside of our nerds in the audience who might enjoy this. But CPU utilization is a problem because it's just like fucking. It's a problem of like it uses your CPU and it uses a lot of RAM. And so if you've got a great CPU and you've got great RAM, odds are you've got a great graphics card. But if you're running the game, your graphics card is almost not used at all. So there's no like performance balancing at all. So it's just like the GPU's like, I'm not doing anything except just pushing video out. And so that just like bottlenecks it into like, well, it's only utilizing, I'm using like my entire CPU and none of my GPU to both like render and play this game, you know?
Yeah. I just think it's so funny that like it's also because doesn't Minecraft not use multiple cores of your CPU?
No, it's
something like
a
that?
single core game. Like,
Yeah.
there have been mods in the past that do multi-core threading, and the problem with that is that they have to fucking rewrite like most of Minecraft's base code to be able to do that. Like, not most of it, but like bits of it that are like very complex and stuff that Mojang probably just don't want to touch at this point. I wouldn't be shocked, you know. And so it's like, yeah, it's a single thread game. Enjoy, have your fun.
Yeah, so like the better the CPU you get, the more threads you have, and the weaker those individual threads are. So it's like, man,
Right.
this is a good CPU, but for Minecraft, this shit falls apart. But I don't know, it's charming, despite its flaws in that way.
You guys were saying so many words that I don't know the meaning of, so I started eating pizza.
Absolutely, fair enough. Let's get to something that like the most layman of laymen know about. Twig, you like Fortnite? You a Fortnite guy?
Funny Fortnite?
I have never played Fortnite, so I can't like. I don't really have an opinion on it.
It's free. Pick it up. We'll crank 90s sometime.
Yeah, man.
Or
You
whatever
say
the
that
kids
in
say.
we don't play the
Play
build
no
mode.
build. You're right.
We
so
can't crank
means
90s.
nothing.
Genuine question: did they add JoJo Siwa?
I don't know.
I don't know.
no
Let me
idea.
check.
I want to
They
get
added
the
the
lethal
Lethal
because I know
Company
they
guy.
put the lethal
I'm pretty-
company guy in there.
I'm pretty sure I saw like a screenshot of like some tweets, and it was like someone putting like a photo of like a like advertisement. What's it called? Just like those videos that like I can't remember the name of it for some reason. Like videos that just show like what an update's gonna like bring. But it was a screenshot of that, and it was like the silhouette of like JoJo Siwa, I guess, and they they captioned it like, "Oh, I swear to God, if this is JoJo Siwa," and right under it was like the official Fortnite Twitter account saying, "Welcome JoJo Siwa." to
Oh
Fortnite.
no!
For JoJo Siwa is not in Fortnite. We're gonna we
Okay.
spread
I was
in
saying-
misinformation in the last episode. Gonna cut it before it makes it to
Gotta
the
make
final
sure we
cut.
don't spread more misinformation.
I do want
I
to
love
clarify here.
spreading misinformation.
Jake Paul was not going to wear headgear, and he wasn't going to tag in his brother. It was just a very
Apparently
well
that was
spread
all
rumor.
Fake, like, rumor information that everybody, like, official news outlets picked it up, and when that happens, I don't mind that we're wrong. Because it's just like,
Yeah.
dude, people who get paid a lot more to make sure that kind of a mistake doesn't happen did it, so, like, I don't mind. I do want to print the retraction that, like, also, I said, like, Logan Paul in reference to that fight almost every single time.
did.
Listening back, and it's like, oh man, I was so wrong. That's the wrong Paul. But no, yeah, that's something.
I honestly did not pay attention to that whatsoever. I could not tell you like when that happened.
It hasn't happened yet. In fact,
It
Mike Tyson had like a health issue, so Mike Tyson isn't going to be fighting. So, womp
So the
womp.
whole thing is off, dude. I want to live in the timeline where that fight happened. Come on.
I want to live in the timeline where I got to see Jake Paul get the shit kicked out of him by a 60-year-old.
Yes. Yes. Oh my god.
That is the life.
Indeed. But
We can
that
only hope.
what were we talking about before? There was misinformation. Oh, JoJo Siwa
JoJo
is
Siwa.
not in Fortnite. That was a joke.
But speaking of brand collaborations, you guys want to talk about Makeship?
Sure. Makeship is. Yeah, I like Makeship.
Okay, I can eat some pizza now.
Okay. Well, because they put out like Toontown Corporate Clash plushies recently, and those are very cute. But I wish they would. I know why they can't, right? I know why they can't sell like designs from like designs that persist from classic Toontown. Like I would love a little Flunky plush or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But Like, I get why they can't do that. But I wanted to talk generally about, like, novelty gaming plushes, or, like, novelty plushes in general for, like, things like, oh, you know, there's my, like, fan gamer Stardew plush, or, like, my makeshift dancing toothless dragon plush. What, you got an opinion on those, Jed? You got, or you, Twig? You got thoughts about them?
I like them. I like the ability to just be like, man, I like this thing. I like this thing so fucking much that I want him to be real and in front of me. I want to be able to punch this thing and throw him against the wall. I love the like physical aspect of having a plushie, and I think that the ability to get a company to make you a small, like a fairly small thing that isn't like, oh yeah, here's my like fucking Maruchan ramen noodle plushie. I love repping a corporation, you know.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I like it a lot. But I use my plushies in the way I don't even use my plushies really. I shove them in the back window of my car, and so they're like sun bleached to hell. So if I were to get one of those, I wouldn't get much like appreciation out of them. What about you, Twig?
That's fair enough.
I like plushies.
You own any?
Yeah.
You own any like unique or like limited run or like really like niche plushes or anything?
Well, okay, I'm not sure if I have this anymore, but when I was younger, I had the biggest Angry Birds hyperfixation. And this was when I was like young, like kindergarten, like first grade, second grade.
Right.
So I, for my birthday one year, I got this like giant, like stuffed animal of like the Mighty Eagle guy that was like easily like I need to look up if I can't. I'm very bad with like determining like how big something is in like feet, like in like a unit of measurement. So let me try to see if it's still on the internet or if it's like lost media or something.
Yeah, I apparently I
Like
gotta.
uh, I literally forgot what I was saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's no, don't worry.
But I apparently got a like a limited run Squishmallow at some point in time because I was like, I want to I want a Squishmallow. I want to have one of those. And I ended up getting like a rare limited run like cat one, and I don't know, man. I'd sleep on that thing. That thing is like I never was
Those
like a
things don't
Squishmallow
hold
guy.
shape very well. I love them because they just like you leave them in position for a while. It's like, oh, that one's been knocked over for a bit. And then you lift them, and it's like a baby that's been left on its back too long. Where like it's just got like a head shape about it now. It's like, well, there's nothing I can do about this other than kind of like squish it back into place and then hope it like settles. You know?
Yeah.
I think I found it on eBay for $100.
God damn.
Wow.
But it doesn't have the dimensions. I can send the link if you wanted to like add the pictures in, I guess.
I
Yeah,
might put them in
Oh my
post.
God,
I might put them in post. Yeah.
yeah,
Wait.
jumbo plush, giant size, apparently rare. I
Huh.
need to ask like one of my parents if it's in like the basement somewhere. No, it's definitely not. Maybe the attic. But I doubt it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. He's
I
He's sitting there.
I wish I could sell them for $100.
Dude, 100
Yeah.
bucks.
100. That's what's funny about some things like that is just like, oh yeah, this is like the plushie that I played with as a kid for like, you know, a while, and then it kind of just sat on my closet, and then it's like, I wonder what people think about it online, and then it's like, fuck it, that thing is worth like $12,000. All right, fuck it, sure. What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me how like with like just I guess like knickknacks, like say like trading cards or like plushes like we were talking about, or like little like figurines can get like so expensive and so valuable. Like I get there's like my mind always goes to like Pokemon cards with this because Pokemon, I Pokemon. Um, but like the Charizard card that's like super like rare, the original one that is
Hmm.
like hundreds of dollars. There's like a bunch of, and even now there's like still so many. There's a bunch of Pokemon cards that can like they're so much money. It's crazy.
Dude, the Pokemon card
Like
market is out of this fucking world, dog.
it's it's super interesting how people can just like assign like a certain value to something just because it's like a bit rarer than the other when it's like just kind of like a piece of fabric or a piece of like paper.
Hmm. I looked this one up just now because I was like, that's probably one of those things. I have like a heavy figurine that I got from like Universal at the time where TF2 was like a common game to play.
Dude,
And
those like TF2 figures, not so much anymore because they're like having a weird resurgence because they're made by NECA, which is a like
Mhm.
sort of typically a limited run thing. Um and they made like a Gordon Freeman figure, they made a Shell figure, they made like the each team's worth of mercs for
Yeah.
TF2.
I also had the Peabody one from the multiplayer
And
from Portal 2.
yeah, and then they made Atlas and Peabody from the Portal co-op missions, and a bunch of other like stuff from other franchises as well. But their Valve stuff is like insanely expensive secondhand. It's like I don't want to pay $200 for that. That was $30 when it came out. I'd pay $30
Yeah.
for it if they ever re-release it, but like I'm not doing that. Apparently, Valve has a bunch of old stock of them, and just every few years when they remember TF2 exists, they fucking restock them on their website. So like sometimes they
Yeah.
fluctuate down, but those are worth so much now.
They are, dude. Like, it's funny because they're fine figures. They look good, but think about the shape of the heavy, and think about making that a real 3D object. His ankles broke, both of them. I had to super glue his ankles back on, dude.
Fair, yeah.
But yeah, those like limited run plushies and figurines, I like them. I like them. I think it's nice to have the ability to get plushies of things that you wouldn't normally.
Yeah. Also, I was just looking this up. Um, I completely forgot there is like a Pokemon card that's like known to be the rarest one. It's called like the Pikachu like illustrator card, and
Mhm.
only like
Right.
39 of them exist in the entire world because they were like given out for some event like super long ago. Apparently,
Yeah.
Logan Paul bought one for $5.25 million.
Jesus Christ. Some people are
Yeah, like
too
the
And
Paul
fucking
brothers,
rich.
like bringing
dude.
bringing Logan Paul back. I want
Influencers
to
got
steal
into
it from him.
Pokemon card stuff a few years ago and made it explode in price even more. See, I couldn't be put in charge of one of these like card companies or figurine companies because I'd go, you know what? For a limited time, we're just gonna run a pack of Pokemon cards. We're gonna print a pack of them and sell them on store shelves that are just all the rarest cards, but as modern reprints. They wouldn't completely devalue the original cards, but they would do a pretty darn good job of it. Um, and I think just to like sow chaos, that'd be funny if you could find like reprint Pikachu illustrator cards in like every Walmart ever. You know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea that celebrities were like getting into Pokemon cards
That
a
happened a
few years
while
back.
ago.
It was in like
It was
I
weird.
2017ish. It's been a while,
Yeah.
yeah. But the thing
hmm,
about it specifically was that like people started thinking like, are people money laundering with Pokemon cards now? Because like the prices
oh,
exploded that much, just that like, are we tax evading by putting our money into like an inherently worthless asset? Is that what we're doing? And yes, that is apparently a lot of what happened in that particular time. Is like
So
influencers were
funny.
like, dude, I got $1 million and I don't want the IRS to have like half of it. I'm gonna buy a Pokemon card right now and then make a video about it so I can make it a tax write-off and they can't tax me on it. And so that was a lot of it. Dude, I feel like being a
The
content
IRS
creator
isn't
is
even
like,
gonna take their money.
yeah, I feel
Like-
like the like ultimate like the ultimate like tax cheat is being a content creator, because it's like, hey, check out my wallet. All right, it's been in a video for 5 seconds. This is technically my job. Now I can write that off on my taxes. See you later. You know?
Look at my bank account. All of that money, tax write-off now. Eat shit.
Yeah, you can just point a camera at whatever expensive, ludicrous thing you want and not be taxed for having it.
Yeah.
It's technically for work.
I think that you should commit tax fraud. I think that
Yeah.
this is a sponsored. I am pro tax fraud.
I don't like what the
Um,
government does with my money.
I'm making a joke. Don't commit tax fraud, and if you do commit tax fraud, definitely don't link it back to me, please.
No, like, commit tax fraud. Please commit tax fraud. I'm begging you. But, like, if the IRS catch you, don't tell them I said this. You don't know me. You've never heard from me. You don't even know I exist. All right? But, like, commit tax fraud.
Yeah, go for it. Have
Yeah,
time.
if this ever gets into the hands of someone in power, this is not the real Twig. This is an AI voice.
Yeah, we're doing some real messed up stuff here today. We've got a third person behind
Yeah.
the scenes just typing out answers that we think Twig would type, and then
Yeah.
running it through an AI model of Twig.
Yeah, it's an all right AI model. It could be better, but Twig.
Oh no, you've convinced me. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
An exact copy. All right. What do we have next up on the docket to talk about? Germa's retiring.
What?
I'm
That happened last.
So
You didn't know about that,
sad.
Jed?
No.
You had no idea. Oh my god, Germa's retiring. Has been planning to retire for like a couple of years now. Since like 2020, Germa was like, "Yep, I'm gonna retire. I got some like big ideas I want to do, and then I'm gonna retire and I'm gonna call it." That doesn't necessarily, and he's held firm on this. Like even today, with like now that he's like actually retiring, of just like, that doesn't mean I'm done. I'll still stream. I'll just stream at random times when I feel like it. You know?
Huh.
I'm just gonna completely
Fair.
drop
I think I
scheduled
got, like, a
streaming.
notice
I'm not gonna do event streams anymore. I'm just gonna like, I want to play some Battlefield. I'm gonna turn on the stream and play some like Battlefield. See ya. You know?
Yeah.
And like
That's
stream for like
wild.
however
So
long
sad
and
about
then
it,
go.
so.
Yeah, it's very sad because we see Germa so rarely these days. Like he's kind of been weaning
Yeah.
out of streaming lately, but it's good to know that like I've never seen a content creator make it that long. Because Germa's like an old guy. Like not that he's old particularly, but in terms of like being relevant on the internet, he's very old. I've been following his stuff since about 2015, 2016. And he's been
wow.
going a little longer than that. And to see somebody have like a more than a decade long career in streaming and be one of the top streamers on Twitch for most of that time, and then be allowed to just go, yeah, I've made enough money and I've had enough success that like I've done everything I wanted to do and I've made enough money that I can just live off it. I do not need to stream anymore. I'm simply like, I don't need to stream anymore. I'm still having fun doing it. It's not my job anymore though. So I'm going to keep doing it for fun, but I'm just going to kind of, 86 streaming when I don't want to. And I think that's, I think like it's almost therapeutic to me as someone who like, strives to maybe have a career in this someday, as just like a, it's nice to see that there is a retirement. If you don't like say some awful shit and get canceled, or
Even then, like
die, or like fall off the face of the earth randomly, or just fall off in general. If you can maintain success,
you should
there
have
is
a boogie
retirement in
arc.
there somewhere. What do you mean?
You should
like become a fraud?
Destroy your career. Yeah, become a fraud,
could.
become an awful
Yes.
person, destroy your career. It would be funny.
Guys,
Get into a
hashtag
hotel
cancel
room
Vox
and
64 on trending on Twitter.
get into a hotel room
Jed's
and
number one.
like hump the other mattress and say some awful things about sex workers. I could do that. I think I could do that.
Yeah. You
I
should
got a
do
documentary
that.
about how broke I am.
Even though you have like so much fucking money that you could totally liquidate, but my arcade collection.
Yeah, we're still talking about Boogie here. We're not. I don't have any money.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Vox is certifiably broke as fuck.
I got $950 deposited into my bank account less than 24 hours ago. I used it to pay bills. You wanna take a wild swing at what my bank account looks like right now?
I think I have too much information. I'll leave the swinging to Twig.
You wanna take a guess, Twig, at what my bank account looks like at this moment?
Can I have a hint? Is it in the positives or negatives?
It's positive. It's in the positives.
That's good in a way.
Shout out a number. I'll let you know if you're right or not. Granted, the important information is that I was paid at midnight yesterday and have since paid my bills. Oh, and I bought a bunch of expensive PC parts, but I bought
a bunch
I bought
of
RAM.
that is-
I bought RAM and a little more storage, and I spent like $200 on that. So there's a solid.
Okay,
hit.
yeah, that's very important information.
Yeah.
Does 0 count as a positive number?
0 counts. I mean,
acting
0 is
after.
neither positive nor negative, but I wouldn't say it's in the negatives if I were at 0.
Yeah.
Non-binary icon. Happy Pride. Happy Pride Month.
Yeah, happy Pride, everybody! We're recording this on
Yeah.
June 1st, but like it'll be a day into Pride Month by the time this comes out. I never knew what to tweet for Pride Month. You know, I never
but
know
what's
what to
the
post
verdict?
about Pride Month. But what's the verdict, Twig?
Yeah, I
You got
haven't
a
posted
number for us?
anything yet. What? Oh. Wait. 0, 0, 0.
0 is your
That's
number.
alright.
Jed, you want to throw one out there?
I'm gonna go with you still have to get groceries and you spend a lot.
My
Not a
grocery
lot,
money
but
is on one of my credit
around-
cards. I moved that to one of my
Oh.
credit cards.
Okay, so you're saying in cash?
Like literally just not cash.
Okay,
But what's in my debit card? What's in my debit account right this very second, exclusively.
$50.
Ooh, close. $60.62.
Woo!
Jed's
I'm
our lucky
good at
winner
this.
for today.
Hell yeah! Do I get the $60?
No.
Damn!
So you get the groceries.
You
get the groceries,
You get
hell yeah.
glory. You get the glory of victory over me just this once.
I love the prices, right?
Yeah.
We should switch this podcast into just like game shows. I think that could
We
be fun.
should.
Yes.
Dude, they did Twitch Jeopardy a while back. We should do Twitch The Price is Right.
Hell yeah! Fucking that
That's a
reminds
good
me.
idea.
The podcast idea that we had years ago, Vox. That was a very neat concept. Vox and I, at
That was
the
the
time,
thing we forgot to talk about last week.
yeah, at the time, we were very into VR chat, and originally we were going to do a
chat Twig?
yeah.
I know nothing. I know nothing.
Oh, it's probably better that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love ignorance.
Yeah, ignorance
it's
is
a
indeed bliss.
cold place, and they say it gets colder. Anyway,
No, but Vox and I were going to do like a game, not a game show. It was a talk show kind of thing, like a late night, where Vox was going to be sitting at a desk, and then I was going to be like, what would you call that, Vox?
sort of a co-host, sort of a side.
Like a side, not quite a
Yeah.
co-host, because like this is a co-host thing we've got going on, but I would be
Yeah.
like way off to the side. But it had like so much production to it of like we would need to like pay to have a stage modeled. We would need to pay to have like outfits
3D,
for our characters.
Getting 3D assets made is very
That-
expensive. I don't know if you know
It's
this, Twig,
expensive,
but it is,
or it's fucking impossible.
exorbitantly expensive.
That's wow. Okay.
If
Like-
I wanted to build what you're looking at here right now as like a 3D thing, including character models, I would be looking at like $3,000. I would genuinely be looking at like
even
$3,000.
God.
even from like our friend who like we would get like a better deal off of, like, yeah, no, like 3D models are rough. That's why I like
It is
I don't know.
permanently. The first thing I ever commissioned was a custom VR chat avatar of my character, and like it has like searching for someone to do that all those years ago permanently altered how I view commissioning art. Of just like, oh, I'd love to get something commissioned. Oh no, that's gonna cost me hundreds of dollars. But it's like, no, that's like $40. Come on.
Yeah, MK, the wonderful person who works on pretty much every asset on screen except for Twig's model.
Twig. Everything except
Wait,
for Twig and
that's
the
me.
logo.
The logo.
Yeah.
MK did all of it, and they're wonderful, and they are like, you know, always surprising with how quickly they get it done and how little they charge. I try to shout them out when I can, but yeah, no, like
Yeah,
3D
shout out
models
MK.
are.
I don't know you, but hi, I'm Twig.
Twig, you should commission.
Yeah.
You should get MK to draw you something. They're great.
Sure. I mean, like, once I find out how to like what to use to like commission people online, I don't know.
You go on the
Just
Twitter
hop in their
DMs
Twitter
and you
DMs.
talk to them.
I mean, no, I mean, like, I don't know. I think way too much into it for someone who doesn't know anything about it, but just like, I have no idea how like to like get. I mean, okay, for commissioning someone, it's definitely different because it's just like buying something online almost, I'm guessing. You just rolled a pair of dice.
The thing
Shit.
fell off my desk.
But like, yeah, okay, commissioning someone would definitely that's just like buying something online. But my brain just went to like, what if I was opening commissions? How the hell would I get that money? I genuinely don't know.
PayPal's
I
great
just
for
have
that,
not
even
been
though they've
looking
had
into
their
it.
like flubs.
Ko-Fi, you said?
I was saying that like PayPal is pretty good for
Oh,
that.
PayPal. They said
Ko-Fi's good too. I hear.
Ko-Fi works.
I don't do a lot of art things, and so like I'm not super well versed in what to do there. I just know that like typically I'll commission somebody and they're like, all right, cool. What's your like PayPal? Because it keeps me insured that if I pay for a product or service and I don't receive it, I can get my money back. But also,
Okay.
like, it keeps them insured of just, like, if I pay them and they do the thing, that they will be properly paid for the thing, you know? And
Yeah.
it can't be, like, taken from them. Which is pretty solid. It's a decent system when PayPal doesn't decide to ban a bunch of people for no reason. Which hasn't
Dude.
happened in a few years.
Oh,
I didn't read the TOS when I started using PayPal, and I didn't realize that you couldn't, like, you had to be 18. So I was like, oh, all right, start my PayPal account, and then eventually I ended up having money, like $90 in it from something that I was like commissioned to do or something, and I was like, okay, let me get the money out, and I had to get in contact with them, and then like 3 days after I get in contact with them, they were like, okay, your account is suspended. We can't tell you why. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I had to get in contact with support again to see what they could do, and they were like, yeah, you're screwed. And then I had to, once I was 18, I had to get my bank unlinked because you can't unlink the account from the bank. So I couldn't use PayPal at all for like the first, while of being 18. It was a pain in the ass, dude. But PayPal overall
yeah,
is
that's
fine.
ridiculous. I wanna commission someone for something. I just like seeing art of my character. But I just honestly I haven't really spent like any money on like anything recently, actually, but usually, I can be like a horrible spender. Like, I'll just spend like so much more money than I realize.
Hmm.
And as someone who's like not really getting any sort of income, mm,
That
it's a
can be real
dangerous slope.
troublesome. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I I deal with a similar issue where it's like I'm a full time college student, so I don't have a ton of income, but I get to this
yeah,
point where it's like, I've got like $30 in my bank account. I could not use it and save it for like gas or something, or bear with me, I could buy a video game, and I always lose those. I always lose those roulettes.
no, I'm the same way. It's I'm such an impulse buyer.
Hmm. And like I'll generally like think through it, and like I'm not as bad as I make it seem, but I will
Yeah,
have issues
I
like
mean,
that.
same.
But Vox is very is it frugal? Is that the word? You're very good
Yeah,
at
I'm very
keeping your money.
miserly with my money. Mostly just because like I need like I don't make enough to I make enough to cover bills and get myself something nice. That's all I have time for. If I cover bills and I don't get myself something nice, I won't really have that much more money put aside. I'll have like 50 to $100 put aside extra. Um, but because I'm in credit card debt, I also need to pay like that, and I include that in bills, and I need to buy groceries and things, which also is included in like, the general bills. But like once my living expenses are paid, I don't have a whole lot. So if like an emergency comes up where it's like, oh, I've got like a vet bill now for my dog, or I've got to like pay to have a part of the car replaced, ah, shit, where am I gonna get $60 on such short notice? It's like, well, if I didn't buy 10
Mm.
items, I could have, done that. And that scenario runs through my head, and I go, what if I get trapped in an emergency situation where, like, what if they put me in a saw trap where the only answer is put your credit card in and see if it declines? And I think about those situations and just like these like impossible scenarios where it's like, oh, what if I somehow go to like step off my front porch and break all of my bones in one go and my insurance won't cover it? And so I've just got $4 billion of medical debt. I'm sure the money I would have spent on a Fortnite skin would have saved me, And so it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
something that runs through my head, and I can't bring myself to be such a big spender. I'm getting a little easier on
yeah.
myself lately, but like,
But
I still
Vox,
try to keep it cheap.
I'm What I'm hearing is that I need to become more paranoid so I
Oh
don't
yeah,
spend so
you
much.
should let your anxiety win, and then you won't spend money.
Vox, if you did end up in that situation where you wouldn't be able to pay any of your hospital bills, it still would have been worth it to play as Master Shredder for like a week
Dude,
before
I'm
you
buying
have
that
like
Lethal
all of
Company
your
Fortnite
items
skin.
revoked.
I'm buying that Lethal Company skin. Nobody can stop me.
It's cursed to see
rarely-
Lethal Company
Very rarely
characters
does a
outside of the
Fortnite
weird.
skin appeal to me enough where it's like, yep, it's not in the battle pass, but I will buy it outright. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, very rarely. You did it with Master Shredder. You did
I
it
did it
with
with Master Shredder,
the
not because
farmer
I like-
guy.
I bought the farmer guy because I wanted a Fortnite skin, and I was like, "What's this guy? $6? Okay." And then I spent $6 on him, and then I had a Fortnite skin in the meantime. And then the Master Shredder skin came along, and it's like, oh, it's a rat in the video game. I have to be able to play as a rat in the video game, so I bought that skin, and now we're on skin number 3 of just like, oh, it'd be cool to own that. Technically, I bought most of the money that got spent on Shredder. I got like $3 off of him because I already bought the battle pass that time around because there was some stuff in that I wanted, and so I had a lot of extra V-Bucks lying around, so I did that. But I did this game's microtransactions. Like Fortnite is the only time a game has ever convinced me of just like, yeah, all right, I'll buy it. Like that is the only time I've ever spent money on a free to play game.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm not very good at that. I'll lose that gambit of like, I think that's pretty cool, and I want to not look like a loser in this game of characters.
No, that honestly happens to me with like Minecraft servers, like say like different like a high pixel rank or something, or like it's mostly with MCCI now, but
Mhm.
like oh, a new battle pass came out and I can get like a very much like better rewards added on to the rewards I already would have gotten. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, all right.
bye.
I didn't even know that Minecraft
And
servers did battle passes.
Dude, battle
it's
passes are
only
everywhere these days.
it's only on MCCI, I think. I've never
Hmm.
been on a server uh
I have
that
never
had one
logged in for
besides that.
MCCI. I've been invited a couple times. I just could never make it, and it's just like, oh no, I know nothing about this. You know,
I
We
don't
need
know
to
what
play
that is.
MCCI sometime.
we
We
should
need to.
hop in.
I am so I love this one game, Dynaball.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of the whole statement. I just love it a lot.
Fair enough.
I
Fair
just
enough.
like it. I wanted to say that I liked it.
Yeah, you will like it too. I'm going to make you.
Oh, I
All right.
probably will.
That's all
I'm a
right.
big Minecraft minigames fan, so I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
Hmm. Oh man. Speaking of Fortnite, uh, last
Back to
episode we were
Fortnite, huh?
talking about. Well, yeah. So last episode we were talking about how like, oh, there's Fallout characters going to be in Fortnite, and I said, oh yeah, it's going to be the Ghoul, it's going to be Lucy, and it's going to be Maximus. And I was so certain of it. None of those characters are in it. It is just the T60, and I said that it could be the T60. Like I said like the T60 could be in there, but like I didn't expect this Fortnite collaboration to be literally just power armor and that was it. I thought that was Vox had brought it
I
up.
think that's kind of a cop out, honestly. I feel like
do
if you're gonna
too.
with something as big as Fallout, I feel like you could come up with more than one specialty skin. It deserves to be like the main battle pass thing, I think. But it's like a collaboration in the middle of a battle pass season, so whatever, I guess. Sure.
Well, no, it's the battle. It's in the battle pass of this season.
Well, yeah, but
like
it's like one. It's one of the bonus.
Yeah, it's like
things.
3.
It's like how
in...
Snake was that one time.
Yeah. But even Snake got he got a bunch of like extra things to go with him. The T60 is just kind of the T60.
Yeah. I still kind of want it though. It's still kind of cool.
I like the T60. It's a good set of power armor. I wish it
wouldn't
was a
pick it
bit
up on
bigger,
its
but I
own,
know why they
but
can't.
As part of the battle pass, I get it. I would probably buy the battle pass, not just for that. If I see something else on the battle pass I want, then I'll get it.
Mm-hmm. But Twig, other than Minecraft, do you have any other games you like playing? Twig.
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Like I have two main like hyperfixations: Minecraft and Pokemon.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
such a Pokemon person. I've been wanting to because okay, I like pretty much only stream Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
But I do really want to like if I do start streaming like other stuff, which I do really want to, I do plan on that. First thing is definitely going to be Pokemon.
Yeah,
I
you
just
got
need
a
to figure
favorite
out
Pokemon
how.
game?
My favorite Pokemon, I have been struggling lately to like decide
Mm-hmm.
which one's my favorite. I don't know why. It just like but those four Pokemon are Quagsire, Clodsire, Breloom, and Meowstic.
Oh, not
They're
bad
all
picks.
little guys.
You got
I
a
love
favorite
them.
region?
Favorite region? Honestly, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm a big Hoenn guy. And I'm not sure I enjoy the water traversal,
oh,
but I feel like the vibe there is it's really
actually
something.
yeah. Yeah, I kind of forgot about Hoenn, but actually I think it might be Hoenn.
Do you have
Yeah,
a
big
favorite
vibes area.
Do you have a favorite like game specifically though? anyone that got you into Pokemon, or just one that you like?
Well, my first Pokemon game was Pokemon X,
Mine was
but
Y.
like, oh, wait, who did you choose for your starter?
Fennekin.
Oh, I chose Froakie, but also I'm not even a Froakie person anymore. I have Chestnut has grown on me so much
I think Chestnut's
recently.
a weird. Yeah, I think he's a weird guy. I don't know.
Okay, I can very much agree that like Quilladin is weird, but Chestnut is cool.
Hmm. But
Um,
yeah, would you say
yeah,
X is
what
your
was I saying?
favorite, or?
I'm not too sure because I think it was like a good game to start out with because X and Y are notorious for being easy.
Hmm.
Um, but I feel like honestly, I'm thinking more like what games I'd like to replay.
Hmm.
I feel like I really want to replay like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I I also really want to replay like Black 2 or White 2.
Yeah, I
Like
don't.
I know those were games I like enjoyed. Like I knew I enjoyed a lot while playing. And I did also like really enjoyed Pokemon Violet.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
heard really good things about Scarlet and Violet, actually.
Yeah, honestly, I don't I feel like this is a very like lukewarm take, but like Sword and Shield was kind of like a dip in like
Definitely.
just everything overall. From like Pokemon designs to just like
And then there was like Legends Arceus, which was
Legends Arceus is so good.
oh,
I miss it.
I played a little bit
Um,
of it. It wasn't my thing.
hmm.
Um,
I think
I
but
played a
I
little
honestly
bit
did.
of it and I really
the
enjoyed what I played of it. I never ended up getting any further though, because I got
I,
into it as everybody around me was like finishing up being hype
I,
about it.
hmm,
yeah, I say played a little bit. I beat the game, but like
yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't my thing. I don't know what it was about it. Pokemon in general wasn't ever like truly my thing, but Arceus specifically just wasn't able to captivate me.
Dude, I
Hmm.
hate that I'm so easy to like quit playing video games. Dude, I have some games that are my like in my top 10 of all time that I've never beat. Because like I
Oh,
just if a game is not my thing, I won't make it through the tutorial. Like I cannot like suffer through like okay, well I don't really like this all that much. You know, it's like unless I'm streaming it, which is different where I like it's all right. I'll power through. I'll do a 4 hour, you
Yeah.
know. I'll get 4 hours in, and then if I hate it, I'll not put a number on the VOD. That's how I kill things. That's how I kill things.
mhm.
It's just like, all right, I'm gonna upload this VOD as not number one, but just labeled with the game, and then I'll never come back and do another one. So if you see me play a game that you really liked that I played, and then you're like, oh well, there's no number one on this. No, it's dead. Know that I will not return to that. but
Yeah, but like
the idea of like yeah it really wasn't for me but I played it to completion. I finished it, you know.
mhm. Yeah. I don't know, like we played through We Were Here and you were always kind of iffy about it throughout it off and on, but
Well,
would you
multiplayer games are different where it's just like if I'm playing a game with someone who's having a lot of fun, I can have a lot of fun with a friend with a game that I'm kind of meh about, you know.
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
Did you end up liking
Same.
We Were Here by the end of it?
I think overall as a franchise I really enjoyed it. Is it a set of games I will ever
Yeah.
replay? No, I
Well,
think
no,
I'm
you
good.
can't really replay puzzle games, you know.
Right, but if I were,
Yeah.
there are lots of games like Outer Wilds where like if I were given the opportunity of just like get hit with one of those
Wipe
like
my memory.
Men in Black things and just completely forget the game franchise and then play it again, I don't think We Were Here is one that I would ever do again. Like blind.
Really?
I don't think I
liked
would
it.
ever do it over again. You know, I think the experience I had with it is probably the most fun I could have had with it, and I don't feel the want to play more. You know, unless they release another game in which I'll play it, but like I'm not gonna play the game over again. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I think about that like scenario of like Men in Black like forgetting like everything about like a certain like I mostly think about it with like TV shows. Like if I could just like go like forget everything and rewatch a TV show, uh, I'd I would do that with so many shows. I have so many shows I just would love to rewatch with, but like feel what I felt originally. Because like
Yeah.
I can't really rewatch shows. I just get like bored of it because it's like
Hmm.
I already kind of like saw it.
I don't know. I will replay and rewatch things a million times. Like uh, I
I
replayed
think
Portal 2. Like I have like 250 hours in Portal 2. That is a puzzle game that like nobody has played more than like 3 times, you know?
I have almost 1,000 hours in Half-Life. Frankly, most of those hours
Yeah.
are because the game wouldn't close itself. But I've still like I'd argue 500 of those are legitimate hours.
I don't think so. You had Half-Life. You were stuck in Half-Life hell for a very long time.
Yeah, but I would restart my computer like the day after if it was still stuck.
Yeah.
There are 10-hour stretches at a time during that one playthrough where it would get me stuck. But
Yeah.
like I would argue a lot of those hours are like it's my most played game on Steam, I think, almost, and it's it's better for it. It's
Mhm.
definitely one that I don't
Mhm.
regret playing that much. But I think the same thing about TV and film as well. Of just like there are lots of pieces of media that I wish I could go back and do again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I find that I'm able to kind of do that. I'm able to stave off like that like rewatch like sort of blihness about it by like watching it with somebody who hasn't seen it. Because
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
it
That
allows you a
definitely
new
makes it a
perspective
lot
on it.
different.
And then
Yeah.
I'm able to like see it through new eyes basically because I've got a second person perspective on just like, oh, okay. Well, you're enjoying this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think honestly, when I say like I'm like really bad with rewatching shows, I honestly feel like with like episodic shows, it really does not affect me as much, like nearly as much. If it's like a story driven show, no. I like will get like so I'll get bored even like if I enjoyed the show so much the first time, like honestly, I feel like if I enjoy the show a lot the first time, it kind of like it kind of sometimes has an effect where I don't enjoy it like as much as I probably would have on the rewatch if
Mhm.
I didn't enjoy it so much
Right.
originally. It's weird. It's like a
Well, you get your like
little
hopes
like
up.
what?
You get your
Yeah,
like
you
hopes
get
up
your
of like this is my favorite thing, and then you watch it and it's
Oh
like this is.
yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
yeah. You got any favorite TV? Twig. I know you're speaking like very fondly about television as a whole. But do you have any like series that you think fondly about in particular?
I honestly, hmm, honestly, I'm a big like cartoon guy. I
Right, right.
really the amount of like live action shows lately, I'm kind of just like, I love animation, but honestly, I feel like one of my favorites, if not my favorite, and also by far the show I would love to like forget everything about and rewatch from the beginning is Amphibia.
Ooh,
It's
I've heard
oh
really
my
good things
god,
about Amphibia.
It's so good. I got into it because after the season 2 finale, uh like a lot like it kind of like gained a lot of like popularity. Uh and I was one of those people who like was kind of introduced to the show after the season 2 finale. So when I first watched the show, it was the season 2 finale. And like okay, it did end like 2 years ago at least. I think yeah, definitely yeah. Yeah, it was I was a senior when it ended. Yeah. Okay. But I don't want to spoil anything. That's where I was getting at. Um
Yeah.
as much as I don't want to spoil anything, like, okay, Marcy, I love her. She's so
Mhm.
me, I'm so her. The what happens with her at the end of season 2? Oh my god. If I and if I hadn't watched it and saw that with like all the everything building up like a normal watch through, oh, the emotional impact would have been insane.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I
One of those that you
mhm.
go ahead, Jed.
Well, for me,
Unless you
I've
steal
got a
my
couple.
answer, because you might.
Well, I don't think I will. I'm gonna go for two that I definitely know aren't yours. Um, where it's like I really like. So one, I really like The Walking Dead because I've watched through it a lot. I we're watching through it like as a friend group right now, and we've gotten to the dark period. But I really like The Walking Dead for its own reasons of just like it's a comfort show. It's not necessarily great at all points, but it's fine. But one show that I would say that I like 100% of the time completely through is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I can rewatch that show like a million times and I love it every time. I think it's very well written. Regular Full Metal Alchemist, not my thing. I kind of hated it to be honest. But what were you gonna say, Vox? I know your answer. I'm pretty sure.
Well, because if we're talking about animated series as a whole, I would TV as a whole is one thing, but animated series in particular, if we're going down that road, I think the best animated series I've ever seen is an all-time heavy hitter, Adventure Time. I think Adventure
Oh,
Time
that's a good one.
Ah,
is
yeah.
insanely good from beginning to end. I like silly, episodic, keep the status quo, week to week,
Mhm.
sort of like adventure shows, which is how it begins. But I also like weirdly deep and like exploratory, like character study esque shows, and that's what it becomes. And to watch a show go from point A to point B in that sort of a way and get me to care so heavily about like certain characters within it. It's insane to me that like because it's a show that I started as a kid and I only got up to like season 3, maybe even season 4.
Ah,
And then
mhm.
I didn't have cable anymore. I watched it week to week as it came out, and then I didn't have cable anymore, and I was just like, okay, well, time to leave all that stuff behind. And I fully immersed myself in like something that my other love, like the internet and online content. And then
Not your
I came
husband.
back. No, no, not my husband. But my other love when it comes to like entertainment. When just like the online sphere and like what was going on there. And I come back years later, as an adult, and I rewatched it at some point in that intervening period and tried to catch up with it and rewatch it, and I kind of just gave it like half of my attention the whole way through, but I still liked it. And then I came back as an adult like a year, maybe 2 years ago.
No,
A few months.
it's a few months ago.
It was like a year ago at this point. It's been almost a year. But
Yeah.
it was very recent though, where like
Yeah.
I came back to it, and it's long ago enough now that I feel like it's not recency bias for me to say that like I'm heartbroken that I didn't get to finish that when I was a kid, that I didn't get to see it from beginning to end, week to week.
I still haven't finished it.
Yeah.
As a big Cartoon Network guy, I'm fucking heartbroken about it because it's genuinely such a fantastic series, and I love it to death. But no, yeah, that's definitely my pick for animated series. But if we had to go like beyond animated series into live action television, I think obviously my lifelong special interest of Doctor Who wins out because man, I love me some cheesy sci-fi action. Man, I love it so much.
I was certain you were gonna go for Better Call Saul for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, Better Call Saul is probably the best single like piece of narrative television, like in terms of quality that I've ever seen. But I think it's outmatched, by my love of Doctor Who and the fact that there's over 60 years worth of content there, and I've seen the majority of it now in terms of like stuff that's televised. And then there's like comics and animated stuff and audio only stuff that's done as like radio plays. There's an endless stream of this stuff, and I can't get enough of my silly sci-fi space show. But no, yeah, that's where I sit when it comes to like top television. But I like to dabble. I like to get into a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. I've been meaning to like watch through a bunch of shows recently, and by recently I mean like for the past like 2 years. But one of the I did actually I okay, so I never watched Adventure Time when I was younger. I just never like ended up watching it, I guess. But I did like start watching it like this summer between high school and college. And I mean like I enjoyed it, but I feel like I just like wasn't like super into it, and then like at some point during my freshman year I just like I stopped. And similar like also like weirdly enough, like I think it was like season 3 like with you. I think like either like season 3 or season 4. But I do really want to watch the rest of it. I watched the Fiona and Cake, that like special. Like not the special
Right.
like the series. That was so good.
Yeah.
That was so good. Also, gay people.
Yeah.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy Pride Month. Who's gonna be the Marshall to my Gary?
But yeah, no, that I think, despite us being just a hair early, I think that's where we wrap for today. Is on a Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy start to your Pride.
It's on a me commenting on being single.
Being single and alone and sad about it. That's what Pride Month is all about.
Dude, I'm single and alone and happy about it, dog.
I'm married and happy about it. But
give some of that over to me.
I can't make you Ace Arrow. I can't do it for you, dog.
You can't just hit Twig with the Ace Arrow beam.
I am saving that.
Hit me with the Ace part. Just hit me with the arrow part.
Oh, right.
No, man. My Ace Arrow gun is reserved explicitly for people who I think it would be the most funny to make Ace Arrow. Speaking of which, Vox, when are we gonna meet in person so I can use my like suspiciously like purple gun?
Dude, you can't purple the fuck out of me. Dude, I am married for one, and that is the only thing that keeps my pants on, frankly, most of the time.
Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it. It's fine. But I just feel the need to mention that, like, little known fact, the bedroom is my domain, friend. You can't get me out of that.
Vox and I, like, are polar opposites in this area of, like, Vox is too far gone, dude. He's like a wild, caged animal, dog. But
I'm like
this is
I'm like the middleman.
You're like Twig.
I'm the like
you're
I'm
Twig.
the like I'm Ace, but like the most like the biggest hopeless romantic. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Oh man.
what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. And being in the bedroom, I I would s- I could say I relate, but that's because I'm sleeping. I'm a
Yeah, you're
sleepy
just an
guy.
EP guy.
Yeah,
See,
I think
I
sleeping
don't
works for
sleep
me,
at
like-
all. I got chronic fucking insomnia, so I'm terrible in the bedroom just overall.
So the amount of time Jed spends in his room is inexcusable when you think about it.
Oh man. This has been Vox and Jed fight about it.
Yeah, that'll do us for this week, everybody. Be sure to check out the show. Subscribe or follow us. You can find us on Spotify or YouTube, whichever platform you're listening on. Go to the other one. And we do this every weekday, or not every weekday. Jesus, I'm doing my stream outro. We do this every week on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. New episodes drop, whatever the Eastern local time is at that time, because daylight savings and whatnot. But year round, 8 p.m. We'll see you. We'll see you there for sure. You can listen to the show live on YouTube as it premieres with the rest of the audience if that's your jam. And our two hosts, me and Jed, our socials can be found in the description of whatever platform you're listening on. And Twig, you wanna plug a thing?
Twig. Yeah, hi. Literally, Twig underscore ish. That's literally if
Just on all
there's an
platforms.
account that has that, it's me.
Yeah, we'll link you down in the description as well. But
Yes, please follow my Twitch. I want a
yeah,
desperately.
follow Twig. Let's get Twig to 10 billion followers by next week. All right,
Yeah.
Yes.
Twig.
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 We'll see y'all next week. Good having you, Twig. I'm glad you showed. I'm glad we were able to get this knocked out. And we'll be
Thank you
back
for
next
having
week
me.
without a guest, because having a guest was awful. Audience, don't
This
tell Twig I
sucked.
said
I
it.
hate
this.
this.
Is the worst. I hate
This
it.
is
I want to go back
awful.
to talking to my friend. No, we love you, Twig. It's been a great time.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all next week.